Hello from Vienna. We are taking the bus with Slovak Lines back to Bratislava, so why don't you come along and see how that goes.
What started out as a convivial walk around Vienna soon became an "oh my goodness, we're going to miss the bus" leg it. So there's not too much to see around the bus station itself, but safe to say there is our bus. It's a Setra 517 HD, and after a quick ticket inspection and passport check, we're on board, and on first impressions, I think this bus looks absolutely lovely. More about those seats later. So we depart from stand C1, which takes services from Vienna to Bratislava, and we depart on time at 14:50. And this is a good point just to say thanks to everyone who subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't yet done so, well, why not hit that subscribe button? Anyway, we're off. It's an hourly service between the two capital cities, and our single fare for an adult was €10.90, which I think is a decent enough price. So we make our way out through the streets of Vienna, and then we're off to our first stop, which is Vienna International Airport. As we pass an enormous petrochemical plant, it's time to have a look around the seat. So we sat opposite the toilet, which I couldn't get into because it was locked, but our seat came with a nice table with a couple of cup holders. The leg room was decent enough, wasn't too uncomfortable, and we've got a couple of charging points, which are always welcome. Overhead, you've got air vents and light switches. The light switch didn't work, but maybe that's because it's light outside, and yeah, still not working, but I can poke my finger into some air vents. All in all, a very pleasant bus indeed. And something which was also very pleasing was the complimentary bottles of water which were available upon boarding. It may not look like much, but I think that's a really nice touch. Well done, Slovak Lines. And before long, we're pulling into our first stop at Vienna International Airport. I would say we stopped here for about 10 to 15 minutes just to let passengers on board, but it's not a busy bus service by any stretch of the imagination, as you can see. So whilst we waited, I took the opportunity to check the onboard Wi-Fi, which worked really well. I was able to keep up with the BBC Sport app, no trouble at all. And YouTube videos streamed absolutely fine as well, so that's another big tick for Slovak Lines. And after that stop, we were soon underway and back up onto the motorway. But I decided to move seats to a slightly less populated part of the bus just to have another look at the seats. So first impressions, very, very good. Love the headrest, love the colour scheme, very comfy seat indeed. Now back to the headrest. Yep. Bit of brute force. Yes, there we go. Yes. So the headrest also worked and did that as well. Excellent. Legroom perhaps a little bit tighter in these seats, but absolutely fine. Although I didn't use the loo and couldn't review the loo, there was definitely a whiff coming from somewhere. After my expedition to the back of the bus, which was always where the cool kids sat when I was at school, it's back to the comfort and safety of the middle of the bus, and I catch up with Mrs. Tim's travels. So just a little update. We're going to rudely interrupt Mrs. Tim's travels from playing Candy Crush to get an update on the seat. So Mrs. Tim's travels, how did you find the seat?
I got on the bus, I turned left, walked up the aisle, and I sat down. No, seriously. The seat is very comfortable, really comfortable. It's nice because the headrest actually goes up, because sometimes you can dig in your back. That's nice, and it's got a nice recline feature as well. I can't fault it.
Comfy?
Very comfy, very nice.
Top work, Slovak Lines. Yeah?
Yep, definitely. Now back to Candy Crush.
Just look out the window for a bit.
And actually that wasn't a bad shout, because the sunset on this particular evening was gorgeous. There are just 79 kilometers between Bratislava and Vienna, and Slovak Lines, I would say, is a very convenient way to get between the two capital cities. Sadly, because we were in a rush, we didn't get too much time to look around Vienna station, but it's not hard to find. It's right where the main railway station is, in the center of Vienna. It's very hard not to find. Anyway, we are now crossing the border into Slovakia.
Welcome to Slovakia.
Making our way into Bratislava, we will be crossing the River Danube using the SNP bridge, which memorialises the Slovak National Uprising, not the Scottish political party. Because of its distinctive design, it's better known as the UFO bridge.
Both SMP bridge SMP or city center?
So this is where we hop off, and if you can bear the excitement, you can get our thoughts on today's journey with Slovak Lines.
So that was Slovak Lines. Tremendous, in my opinion. Reasonably priced, a very comfy coach, the Wi-Fi was good, complimentary water, which is not, you know, maybe a massive thing, but in this day and age that's quite a rare thing, so I thought that was really nice. And most importantly for me, the onboard digital clock was displaying the correct time, which is a real bugbear of mine, so well done Slovak Lines. Mrs. Tim's Travels, what did you think?
Excellent. I would travel with them again if I'm ever here.
What more can you say than that? So, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. It really helps, and you can keep up with our travel silliness wherever it gets us. But from us, ta-ra!